Princess Theodora of Greece finally tied the knot with her American fiancé, Matthew Kumar, and honestly, it's about time. After nearly 6 years of waiting and 2 postponements, the wedding finally happened, and I can't help but feel a bit relieved for the couple. I mean, can you imagine planning a royal wedding twice and having to call it off each time? The first time was because of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, and then, in early 2023, her father, the former King Constantine, sadly passed away, pushing it back again. Talk about patience. The wedding itself took place in the Metropolitan Cathedral of the Annunciation in Athens, the very same place where Theodora's parents, King Constantine and Queen Anne-Marie, were married nearly 60 years ago. There's something poetic about that, right? It feels like a full circle moment, especially considering the emotional weight of losing her father earlier this year. The fact that Theodora honored her parents' marriage by choosing the same venue just adds a whole layer of sentimentality to the event. It's not just any church, it's a place filled with history and family memories. The ceremony was a Greek Orthodox one, led by His Eminence Metropolitan of Cyrus, Dorotheos II, and let me tell you, the guest list was just as royal as you'd expect. Theodora's brothers, Crown Prince Pavlos and Prince Philippos, were there as groomsmen, alongside Pavlos' son, Prince Achilleas Andreas. Theodora's nieces Princess Maria Olympia and Arietta Morales de Grecia stepped in as bridesmaids. That must have been a sight. Just imagine all these royals in one place, celebrating love. But you know what I really appreciate about this wedding? Theodora and Matthew decided to stick to their roots and hold the wedding in Greece. That's not just a romantic choice, it also speaks volumes about how connected they are to Greek culture. They could have easily opted for a glamorous destination wedding somewhere else, but instead, they wanted their guests to experience Greek hospitality and culture. And I think that's a beautiful way to stay true to who they are. The lead up to the wedding was filled with events. Just days before, they met with the Archbishop of Athens and even had a pre-wedding party at the Byzantine Museum. Imagine the excitement. It's not every day that you get to attend royal gatherings like that. For Theodora, this wedding probably marks a new chapter. She's 41, and while she's been in the public eye for much of her life, this moment feels like a very personal one. She's seen a lot in her family. Her father was the last king of Greece before the monarchy was abolished in 1973. While the royal title might not hold any political power anymore, it still carries a lot of weight in terms of tradition and heritage. And I think this wedding was a perfect blend of honoring that royal legacy while also forging a new path forward. It's also worth noting that Theodora's fiancé, Matthew Kumar, isn't a royal by birth. He's an American attorney from Los Angeles, which in itself is pretty refreshing. Royals marrying outside of royal circles isn't exactly new, but it's always interesting to see how these relationships evolve. Their love story isn't just about titles or royal duties, it's about two people from very different worlds coming together. And honestly, isn't that what we all want to see in a royal wedding? Now, let's take a moment to acknowledge the touching message Theodora shared on Instagram back in 2020, when they had to postpone the wedding for the first time. She wrote, "On what should have been our wedding weekend, the love and support from friends and family have been so appreciated. We can't wait to celebrate with all of you in Greece once it's safe." That post showed just how grounded and real she is, even with all the royal pomp and circumstance around her. So, while this wedding was long overdue, it seems like it was well worth the wait. Theodora and Matthew finally got their happily ever after, and I couldn't be happier for them. It's a beautiful reminder that love, no matter how delayed or complicated, can still triumph in the end.